Hello and good evening. I'm Jameson Crabtree.
And I'm Callie Diamond. Welcome to JAG TV News.
We have a millionaire charged with murder, as well as a football player resuming his trial for murder.
Reliable, accurate, and on your side. From the Communication Department at the University of South Alabama, this is JAG TV News.
There's relief throughout Ferguson, Missouri after news of an arrest in the shooting of 2 police officers. Elliot Davis talked to people who showed up to support the police, as well as some who were involved in the protest movement.
News of the arrest is welcome news to people all across Ferguson. I talked to some of those at a pro-police rally in front of the Ferguson Police Department, people who came to show their support for law enforcement. There was cheering after some officers came out, shaking hands with those in the crowd to show their appreciation for the outpouring of support.
Guys, appreciate it.
What's your reaction on the announcement of an arrest?
I think that's a good thing. I mean, I hope that justice is done. That's what we want. We want justice. We want fairness for everybody here. It's not one side or another. We want justice for everybody, including the police.
Across town, others were gathered at a Ferguson church for a candidate forum for people running for the board. St. Mark's has been the site of many protest-related activities. I talked to some of the people here to get their reaction to the arrests in the shooting of the 2 officers. Reverend Tommy Pearson has been involved in the protest movement from the beginning. Reverend Pearson, your reaction to an arrest in this case?
Well, my reaction is, I'm glad to hear it, glad to know that there was an arrest made. My feeling is no one should commit such a crime and get away with it. I cannot think of anything that would justify shooting at police officers.
This man who I talked to in front of the Ferguson Police Department had a different view on things.
The shooting put a terrible pall over the whole thing, and hopefully that's been lifted a little bit. Hopefully we can go back to viewing this as a non-violent protest, a chance to offer and exchange ideas.
Police arrested 20-year-old Jeremy Williams, who is charged with 2 counts of assault in the first degree, 3 counts of armed criminal action, and firing a weapon from a vehicle.
Few people have an intimate understanding of the inner workings of the jihadist groups and their ideology. One man who does is Amin Dean. CNN's Becky Anderson sat down with him for his extraordinary tale.
For those who have joined ISIS, how do you explain their justification according to the prophecies?
Al-Qaeda before and now ISIS believe that they are the army of the black flags. They exist in Iraq, in Yemen, and in Syria. They have positioned themselves around these locations on top of Afghanistan in order to, in a way, force the hand of God here, in order to bring about this monumental shift and a turning point in the history of the Islamic world. Fulfilling the prophecies is an act in which provide them legitimacy and provide them with recruits. Because when you tell people that you are there as part of God's plan, then of course they will fight without any question regarding the motives or the tactics or the methods that the Islamic State is using. They will say, well, the Prophet foretold of this conflict. The Prophet told us that there will be a jihad here in Syria. So whoever leading that jihad must be righteous, and whatever decisions they make must be righteous.
A millionaire has been charged with murder. For more than 3 decades, police across the country have suspected Robert Durst of killing 3 people: his wife, his friend, and his neighbor. Tuesday, the eccentric real estate heir is expected in a Louisiana courtroom to face weapon and drug charges. That's in addition to the murder charge he faces in California. And if convicted of murder, he could face death. Mary Maloney reports on the developments in this bizarre case.
Prosecutors paint Robert Durst as a cold-blooded killer with a motive for murder to silence a witness.
He's responsible for the death of 3 people.
In 1982, Durst's first wife, Kathy McCormick, vanished. Police and her family suspected Durst. but no body was found, and Durst was never charged. The case went cold for nearly 20 years until investigators decided to take another look. They wanted to talk to this woman, Susan Berman, but before investigators could interview Berman about Durst, she was killed. Prosecutors now say Durst did it.
In my heart, I said, Bob is eliminating the witnesses and people who have knowledge of Kathy's passing.
Around the same time, Durst leaves New York for this rundown apartment in Galveston, Texas, cross-dressing and posing as a mute woman. A year later, Durst admitted to killing and dismembering his neighbor, Morris Black, but a jury bought his argument of self-defense and acquitted him.
Robert Durst, not guilty.
Bob Durst seems to be a lucky guy. Some walk free from it. It's kind of sucks, but it's the truth.
Now what may be a new truth. During a taping of an HBO show, a mic captures Durst saying these words.
Kill them all, of course.
His attorney says this isn't a confession and that his client is innocent. But families in multiple states hope that Durst's luck may have finally run out. I'm Mary Maloney, reporting.
Robert Durst faces felony charges and drug charges in New Orleans and murder charges in California. Prosecutors haven't decided to seek death in the murder case of Susan Berman.
Aaron Hernandez is back in court for murdering semi-pro football player Odin Lloyd in 2013. Trial of former NFL football player.
Good morning. Could you state your full name, please? Kwame Nicholas.
Did I read that? Okay. An acquaintance of Odin Lloyd testified at the murder trial of former NFL football player Aaron Hernandez Tuesday. Kwame Nichols said he saw Hernandez glaring at Lloyd in a Boston nightclub just a few days before Lloyd was killed. Nichols said Hernandez seemed tense and upset, and he later stormed out. Nichols is the seventh witness to testify about the event at the Boston establishment on the night in question.
In Washington, the head of the Secret Service is on the hot seat, answering questions from members of Congress about the latest scandal involving the agency. Ryan Nobles has a recap of a tense day on Capitol Hill for the director, Joe Clancy.
Good afternoon. He's been on the job for almost 6 months, but already Secret Service Director Joe Clancy is dealing with a scandal on his watch.
They're still getting paid.
Yes, sir.
No reduction in pay. No penalties, financial or otherwise, right?
No financial penalties. Sir, I would say that I'm sure they're paying a penalty right now.
Clancy was called to Capitol Hill to explain what happened when 2 agents allegedly drove through an active investigation into a possible bomb near the White House. The Washington Post reported the agents appeared to be drunk, according to witnesses. The new director, who was once a part of President Obama's personal detail, said that he did not learn about the incident until 5 days later.
There's no excuse for this information not to come up the chain. That's going to take time because I'm going to have to build trust with our workforce.
Several members of the House Appropriations Committee expressed frustration that Clancy had not taken swift action to reform the agency, which has faced criticism over its public image.
Not only were we rocked by the White House fence jumper last September, but now we are confronted by yet another unfortunate incident that appears to entail significant misconduct.
Clancy pledged to fix those problems.
My actions are going to determine how that culture has changed, but I don't have the ability to just fire people at will.
That won't stop members of Congress from demanding reform.
Jurors in the Boston Marathon bombing trial heard dramatic testimony Monday about the firefight between police and Zanarf brothers. They also inspected the boat where Zokhar Tsarnaev hid from the police. Pamela Brown has more.
These 8 minutes of sheer terror, the main focus of testimony Monday in the case against Zokhar Tsarnaev.
Loud explosion! Loud explosion! Loud explosion!
3 police officers testifying about April 19th, the day of the Watertown shootout. 4 days after the Boston Marathon bombing. Officers say the Tsarnaev brothers carjacked a Mercedes SUV, and when Officer Joseph Reynolds passes the stolen vehicle in a residential neighborhood, he says the older brother, Tamerlan, gets out and begins firing at his cruiser. Within minutes, backup response. This photo displayed in court shows the brothers ducking behind the SUV for cover. Police testifying both brothers were shooting at and throwing pipe bombs and one pressure cooker bomb at them.
They have explosives, some type of grenades. They're in between houses out here.
After Tamerlan runs out of bullets, Sergeant Jeffrey Pugliese says he tackles him, trying to arrest him. And that's when he says, quote, "All of a sudden, I can hear an engine revving." The officers testifying that the younger brother, Jahar, was behind the wheel of the SUV, driving straight for them, running over and killing his brother. The prosecution arguing this moment shows Jahar's intent to kill the police all on his own. Earlier in the day, the jurors took a field trip to the boat where Jahar was arrested. Hoisted on a lift, jurors saw firsthand the more than 100 bullet holes riddling the panels. Jahar also present, expressing little emotion at the boat where his alleged terror spree came to an end. Pamela Brown, CNN, Washington.
After the break, we have the latest on gun control at the University of South Alabama.
And also promotions that JAG TV will be doing.
This financial advisor is being accused of committing one of the largest investment frauds in the history of the United States.
I guess we're not going to Aspen. That's fine. You see, I like tennis balls. He likes insider trading. So he's going to jail and I'm going to a shelter. And no, they're not the same thing. Shelters are for good pets that want to be adopted. Jails are for criminals. I did nothing. Uh-oh. Ooh, okay, I stole a cheeseburger once. I'm a dog.
Thank you for feeding my family.
Thank you for giving me shelter.
Thank you for giving me hope. Support the Red Cross and change a life, starting with your own.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
JAG TV's Jordan Westmoreland reports that the recent violent crimes at the University of South Alabama have promoted new debate on how to control campus violence, and could guns be the answer?
Guns on campus. It's been talked about for years and could soon become a reality.
Me, personally, I would feel more safe walking around campus with a concealed weapon because of all the things going around the Mobile area.
With the University of South Alabama being ranked the #9th most dangerous university in America, the question has been raised more and more frequently. Should firearms still be prohibited on campus, or should concealed carry finally be legalized? They say it's all about self-defense and preventing more theft, forcible sexual assault, and violent crimes from occurring.
Honestly, it's a big campus, and I don't really trust a lot of people, so I almost feel like people would abuse that power. But I do see the significance of having protection, you know, with how open the campus is.
DJ Pardon, a student at the university, has created a special group called the SCC at South Alabama that says having a concealed carry weapon on campus is a right.
It's the National Organization Students for Concealed Carry, and we support the right of college students who have concealed carry permits to be able to carry their handguns while on a college campus, just like they can in other places.
Pardon says that there are many crimes that have happened on campus that might have been ended differently had the victims been armed.
And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to use it. If somebody walks up to you and with a knife and asks for your money, you pull a gun on them, he's probably not going to stick around.
Police response time on college campuses averages from 2 to 3 minutes. Some students say that this is 2 to 3 minutes too long when they could have pulled out a concealed weapon in 2 to 3 seconds.
We have an F in school security from the American State School Search. It just gives people a way to defend themselves.
Jordan Westmoreland, JAG TV News.
To get more information or to join the SCC at USA, visit facebook.com/USASCC and send a message to Parton containing your name, JAG number, and email.
JAG TV reporter Sumeet Patel shows how JAG TV is trying to do more promotions for the channel.
Welcome to JAG TV USA. Here I am at JAG TV Studios, where JAG TV films Weekend Warm-Up, Jaguar Circus, Vanguard on Air, and other shows on a weekly basis. And I also talked to the promotions manager about upcoming promotions and upcoming events that JAG TV will be taking part in.
Promotion-wise at JAG TV, we do things like we've made flyers and hung them up all over campus. You've probably seen them around the humanities area and like the comm department and stuff like that. We just made a lot trying to promote the channel itself. Our original promotion goal was to promote us as an organization and gain membership, and we did that successfully last semester. We've got tons of new people working for us, so now our main goal is to promote us as an actual channel and to gain audience and viewership.
Ben also talks about the advertising that JAG TV will be doing.
Our goal now is to work on advertising as part of our promotions. We've got a new advertising department set up basically, and we've got liaisons here to work with the Advertising Foundation on campus.
With promotions, JAG TV goes to campus events to promote the channel.
We try to do all the events like Get On Board Day and USA Day, stuff like that. We always try to make sure we've got a table set up, promoting ourselves.
With new shows and new anchors, JAG TV has a new promo for their channel. This is Sumeet Patel, JAG TV.
For more information on JAG TV, visit their Facebook page or visit www.southalabama.edu.
After the break, we've got Mitt Romney versus Evander Holyfield.
And President Barack Obama picks the winner of the 2015 NCAA tournament.
Take my hand and start a brand new day. And together as one we'll start to see some change.
Underneath everything we are, underneath everything we do, we are all people, connected, interdependent, united. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Yes, ready, ready. Go get it.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
Is struggling with hunger. Who's the 1 in 8 in your life? You can help today. Visit feedingamerica.org/1 in 8 to find your local food bank.
Just when you thought he was out, Mitt Romney is stepping back in the ring. The boxing ring, that is. The 2012 GOP presidential nominee will box former heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield for charity. They're raising money for Charity Vision, a Salt Lake City organization that focuses on blindness in developing countries. The boxing match is scheduled for May 15th in Salt Lake City.
Every year, President Barack Obama fills out his NCAA men's basketball tournament bracket and tells us how he's going to win it all.
Great to see you, sir. Yep, of course.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm not a pundit, but I agree that Arizona has the best chance to upset Kentucky, but I don't think they quite pull it off. I think Kentucky moves on.
Duke versus Villanova.
I'm going to pick what may be seen as a mild upset, although Nova, obviously is ranked high. Kentucky obviously has as good of a chance as any team.
Kentucky, 40-0.
This is going to be the year, guys. I'm winning the pool.
Stand back.
Obama's pick, the Kentucky Wildcats, opened the tournament playing the Hampton Pirates Thursday at 8:40.
Let the games begin. March Madness kicks off this week, and basketball fans are willing to invest time and money to watch their favorite teams. Karen Kafo looks at the cost to fans and to employers in today's Consumer Watch.
The 3-week college basketball blitz known as March Madness leads to more spending than you might think, and not just in those office pools.
Gear, maybe buying a new flat screen TV, and of course the parties and those brackets. So it is a big spending sport, much higher than you might anticipate.
There's a cost for employers, too. An annual tally from Challenger Gray and Christmas estimates distractions like filling out brackets and catching a glimpse of tournament play during the first 2 days of games could cost businesses as much as $1.9 billion in lost productivity. A survey by Retail Me Not found 27% of respondents will find a way to tune into a game during work hours. 14% said they'd be willing to call in sick to give themselves more time to watch the action. Others will take a long lunch. What will Americans give up to make time for March Madness? The Retail Me Not survey found almost 1/3 said they'll skip their workout routine to watch.
These games really are all-encompassing. Thankfully, they are only 21 days long, so things should hopefully return back to normal after the final game.
And fans aren't the only ones excited about March Madness. Cantor Media says last year's advertisers invested more than $1.1 billion in TV spots over the course of the tournament. For Consumer Watch, I'm Karen Kaffa.
After defeating the Manhattan Jaspers in the first four of the 2015 NCAA men's basketball tournament, Hampton coach Edward Joyner got a call from Jesus.
Hold on. I told you I had Jesus on speed dial, so. Hey, Jesus. First of all, you can't play, so I ain't worried about you being hot. Okay, fine. They want to know how much of a mountain and what our odds are. Hello? Hello? I guess he'll get back to me, so I'll get back to you. But it's a heck of a mountain. You know what I'm saying? And we know that. So, you know, we're going to go try to play. We're going to go compete and let the chips fall where they may. They're a great team, and we know that.
The Pirates' next game is against the #1 overall seed, the Kentucky Wildcats.
After the break, find out about Mountain Dew unleashing a new flavor.
And a flying car designed to land anywhere.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Support the Red Cross and change a life, starting with your own.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Huh. Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Dew Shine is an upcoming flavor of Mountain Dew set to release in late March of 2015. When Mountain Dew's Dew Shine hits shelves on March 23rd, a single serve will sell for $1 to $1.49, and a 4-pack will sell for $3.99. It's a clear citrus dew made with real sugar, inspired by the brand's roots in the backwoods of Tennessee, says Jennifer Ryan, a Mountain Dew spokeswoman.
Well, that's it for JAG TV. I'm Jamison Crabtree.
And I'm Callie Diamond. We'll see you on JAG TV News next time. Have a good night.
Good night.